Hello audiophiles of the internet, and welcome back once again to Audio 46, your headphone destination. My name is Franco, and today we will be doing a comparison review for you of two products recently released by iFi. This is the Micro iDSD Signature versus the iDSD Neo. These are two very sophisticated amp DAC systems that have a lot in common in terms of their technology and how they're going to be used, but of course there are some key differences, so stick around because we're going to get into all of it right now. These both have very similar packaging featuring a white box with a simple photo sleeve over the top. Starting off with the Signature, on top you will see the unit itself as well as a tri-panel starter guide. The rest of the materials are located underneath in two small boxes. The first contains your USB-C charging cable, a mini Type-B adapter, and an attachable 3.5mm to 1/4-inch jack. The second box has an RCA cable, a Toslink mini plug adapter, and a very soft velour storage pouch. As for the Neo, it is laid out exactly the same, with the unit on top, except underneath there are three boxes here. These contain a USB cable, RCA cable, a remote control, your power supply, the all-important 1/4-inch adapter, and an antenna. Design-wise, these units are pretty different from one another, and the first thing to notice is that the Signature is quite a bit smaller. It's not exactly handheld, but it fits very comfortably in the palm, even if it's a bit too long, and the weight feels nice and solid. The chassis is aluminum all the way around, and the deep blue color is really nice, especially with the accents on the inputs, outputs, and lettering. The Neo is obviously much larger, but it retains a lot of the same qualities. The chassis here is also aluminum, and it feels just as strong and sturdy. The look is overall simple and a bit more futuristic with the silver color. It also has an OLED screen to display your output gain, decoding quality, sample rate, and the output that you're currently using. You can toggle through 3 different brightness levels for this screen. There are also a couple buttons to power on, as well as to pair and switch outputs. The Neo also comes with a stand, which is very nice since you can place this unit either vertically or horizontally, and the OLED screen will shift based on how you have it oriented. For your ins and outs, the front features a 1/4-inch unbalanced jack, which can be used with the included adapter, and a balanced 4.4mm jack with no adapter provided. Next to these are your switches for 3D mode and X-Bass, which gives you some low-end boost, and the volume knob. This doubles as the power button. Finally, there is also an LED light, which will change color to reflect your sampling quality. On the backside is a 3.5mm coaxial input for the Toslink mini plug connection. Also located here is your RCA and a USB Type-A input for those who opt to go digital. It is possible to connect via USB to a Lightning adapter or USB OTG for smartphones or similar devices. This is also an MQA compatible unit, so you could plug right into your phone or desktop to get the full effect of something like Tidal's master quality. The Neo is a lot simpler and more streamlined in this regard. On the front you have 2 inputs, one a 1/4-inch unbalanced, the other a 4.4mm balanced. On the back there are a few output options, starting with left and right XLR and RCA. There are also a few digital options, including coaxial, USB, and optical. The Signature is an extremely versatile unit featuring a lot of different ways to alter your sound via the different switch controls on the side of the chassis. The first is this red power mode switch that allows you to toggle between normal, turbo, and eco modes depending on the sensitivity of the gear you are using to listen. Turbo will work well with headphones, while eco is delegated toward IEMs. The normal mode will drive units that have a more medium sensitivity. Next, in the middle, you have your digital filtering switch. This switches between modes demarcated as standard, minimum phase, and bit perfect. Thanks to the true native design of the 4-channel Burr-Brown DAC chip, PCM and DSD format information travels through different pathways, allowing it to remain uncorrupted in its native form, all the way through analog conversion while using this mode. Finally, the last slide control switch on the unit is your IEM match, which functions as a control for your IEMs when you are in eco mode. This allows you to match the output voltage of high sensitivity and ultra high sensitivity IEMs to the Signature itself, which gives your IEMs a gain boost before you go maxing out the volume. The Neo is a much more pure unit, not featuring any digital sound processing or filtering, so this could be something to keep in mind if you were deciding between the two. Beyond using it as just a dedicated headphone amp, the Neo could also be used as a pure DAC or DAC preamp depending on where you want to put it in your system's chain. The interior technology of both these units is also pretty similar. These both utilize the Burr-Brown dual DAC chip, which allows your high-res tracks to retain the most digital integrity. They also both feature full MQA decoding for Tidal masters. In terms of power, the Signature can generate up to 4,100 milliwatts. The Neo has a continuous power output of 1,000 milliwatts into 32 ohms using the balanced headphone jack. Furthermore, the Neo employs what iFi is calling pure wave circuitry, which involves ultra high-end building materials for interior components. For more on this, you can click on the link below to audio46.com, which lists all of these in exacting detail. Another difference here is that the Neo offers cutting-edge Bluetooth technology, thanks to its use of the Qualcomm QCC5100 processing IC. This gives the Neo one of the most sophisticated Bluetooth engines in any product currently available on the market, and all major codecs and formats are supported here. If you're primarily interested in streaming and listening hands-free, then the Neo is probably the way to go for you here. It will remember up to 7 devices and has a very healthy range thanks to the use of Bluetooth 5.0 technology. The units I chose to do my listening on for these units were the Beyerdynamic T5 3rd generation closed-back headphone and the Campfire Vega 2020 IEM. These are both units that I liked a lot when I reviewed them for the channel, but they each had elements that I found to be a bit weak, so I wanted to see how they fared when paired with each of these iFi units. The T5 has a great amount of warmth, but also a bit of roll-off on the high-end crispness. When paired with the Neo, the warmth and roundness was retained, but there was a bit more extension on the high-end frequencies. The experience was very similar with the Signature, with high-end gaining a bit more definition and resonance. The 3D mode gave everything a bit of a lift, and even widened out the stage of these already impressively expansive cans just a little bit. The X-Bass also added even more thump to an already fairly bassy headphone, but none of the smoothness was lost, and this was really nice here. I found the Campfire Vega when listening with no amp initially to be a little bit lacking in the mid-range. It was just a little more recessed than I would have liked, and this was definitely corrected nicely when listening to the Signature. The mids were boosted up a little bit and had a bit more of a forward push, but it did not alter it dramatically, of course. However, this still did make for an overall improvement, and the high sensitivity mode did improve the stage a good deal in my opinion. The X-Bass was also a little bit less successful here in my opinion, as it just tended to make the low end of certain tracks a bit muddled and unfocused. The Neo also elevated the Vega quite nicely, providing a nice sharpening and focusing of the image, and giving all of the frequencies just a bit more depth and room to expand. As I said, these are both very sophisticated units, and you really can't go wrong with either one. Both of them would be a great investment. In terms of sound quality, they're both excellent. However, beyond that, they do have some pretty concrete practical differences. As a dedicated headphone amp, the Signature is going to serve you well because of its portability, its compactness, and the fact that because of the different modes and processing and power, it really can support just about any pair of headphones ideally. If you want to have a more sturdy and permanent rig at home that you keep in place for your music or your gaming or whatever else you're going to use, the Neo is obviously a lot bigger, it takes up a lot more room, and it's going to be a lot more useful in a home setup, especially with all of its multiple sources and outputs. So, what do you guys think? Is anyone out there thinking of getting one or even both of these? If so, let me know in the comments down below. I really had a hard time trying to pick which one of these I like better, so I would love to hear what you guys think. While you're down there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss another video from our channel, and so you can always join in on the discussion. If you want to learn more about these or about the great deals that we're going to be offering all the way through the holiday season, then please go on over to audio46.com to check out our blogs and reviews, and consider joining our mailing list if you want our best sales sent right to your inbox. And lastly, if you happen to find yourself in New York City in the coming weeks, then please feel free to drop into our brick and mortar store on 46th Street. We take your safety very seriously, and we have a wide range of gear for you to try out for yourself to see what is the best fit. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. My name is Franco with Audio46, your headphone destination, and I will see you all very soon.